Hey there, welcome to the Agents of Revival podcast. If you're ready to be healed and take full accountability of your life by evolving into your best self, then this is the podcast for you. I am your host, Andrea Griffin Rogers, and I'll share with you winning steps as well as personal tips and anecdotes on how to go from brokenness to wholeness and from scattered pieces to inner peace. So come on in and join me on this healing journey, and let's become whole together. Enjoy it! Hey, what's up, guys? How are you today? I pray all is well, as much as stirs your faith, falls on good ground, produces what? Good fruit in your lives. Kudos for those who got it right. Baby, today we are talking about get up and be loosed. Child, yes. If I could shake you, I would. But you got to get up and be loosed. It is 2024. But whatever time you receive this message, know that it is God saying to you today, it is time to get up and be loosed. You have stayed in this position long enough. You have been with your stinking thinking long enough. You have been talking about how things will never change long enough. He says, get up, girl. Get up, bruh. Get up. Stop letting that defeat sit on you. The stench is stinking to God. He says, I have plans for you, plans to prosper you, not to harm you, plans to give you hope in the future. I need you to get up out of that. And one of the first steps of getting up is making up your mind to get up. People say it's easier said than done. No, it's not. The first thing is to just make up your mind to get up. Because then when you make up your mind to get up, then you could perform or put together a plan of action on how you're going to get up. I remember when I was going through my Job Wilderness season, you know what? I didn't say a prayer first. I'm sorry, y'all. Let me say a prayer real quick. And I'm going to get into this message. Spirit of living God, we come to you right now. We want to say thank you for this opportunity to hear and receive a word of encouragement from you. Speak, Lord, your servants are listening. You know what each person faces. And so help them to hear what they need to hear, to get the strategy they need to get, to receive the direction from you for the course of their life of how to get up so that they may be loosed to move and do what you have called them to do. This is my prayer. Let it fall on good ground, produce good fruit in their lives. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Okay. So as I was saying, when I was going through my Job Wilderness season, I remember at one point just feeling like, is things ever going to change? And it was actually at one of my last jobs, my last corporate job I worked, where I had an interesting conversation with my manager at the time who was leaving the company. And she was, it was a twofold conversation, because part of it was, I'm submitting you up for my position for promotion. That was number one. And then the second part was her telling me something that basically was a warning, because she had been in the company long enough to know how they were. And so she was like, listen, this stays between us. You need to make sure you have a backup plan. And I was like, what? Like, I don't understand. She was like, listen, I've been here a long time and I've seen a lot of things. And I've always had a backup plan. She was like, make sure you have a backup plan. What is your plan B? And I was like, well, I don't know. I don't really have a plan B right now. So she was like, all right, well, you need to work on that, because you never know. And I remember the day she left, it was so funny, because she was just like, I'm free. Thank God. And it was just like weird, because to see somebody happy to leave their job means that there was something going on that made that job miserable for that person to be like, oh, thank God I'm out of here. And that person worked for that company a very long time. So it wasn't somebody that just worked there a few years. I'm talking about, no, several years that person worked for that company and was just clearly not happy. And so I was like, wow. And I remember in that moment, I was so defeated because of everything I was going through at the beginning of my Job Wilderness season, because it was around that time, that I was just like, girl, I can't even fathom what my evening going to look like, because my mind is so scattered. My vision is so blurred with all the problems that I'm facing and the challenges that I'm facing, that I can't even fathom. I can't even utter anything to say to you, any plan of action. And I've always known I was meant to be an entrepreneur. So it was interesting even in that moment that I couldn't even think of any type of business to put together at all. I just was so defeated with life. I was just so knocked down. And what she was kind of saying to me is what I'm saying to you, like, girl, get up and be loose. Like, don't stay in this mindset thinking that where you at is where you want to stay. Have a better plan of action. Know where you want to go and achieve it. Stay focused. And at the time I couldn't do that. And so, but thankfully, God moved the way he did. And that's, that chapter is closed. That book is closed of my life. But yeah, I get it. When you are going through a tough time, it's very hard to know how to get up. It's very hard to know how to stand. And one of the things that started to help me, which ultimately pushed me out of that company, was I started to develop a prayer life that was so desperate because I couldn't stop. What she said wouldn't stop ringing in my ear. Get up, like have a plan, have a backup plan. And I was like, okay, God, why is this being said to me? What should I be doing right now? I find it hard right now to move, to maneuver, to make any changes. Lord, I need your help. And I remember I started to hear God tell me, write the story. Now, this is not for everybody. I would say this for me, but God does want all of us to share our testimonies of what we've been through and how we overcame. And so for me being a writer, God was saying to me, and an author, God was saying to me, write the story. And I was like, write the story? Like, no, not with everything I've been through. And I knew exactly what God was telling me to do, which my response was like, no. And I just kept hearing an echo in my spirit. And so then I finally said, okay, you know what, God, if this is something that you really want me to do, you have to make it plain and clear that I'm meant to walk away from this job and pursue a writing career, because this doesn't make sense to me. And so, through a bunch of different twists and turns of events that literally happened like that, so fast, like a snap, God did just that. Like, he literally answered my prayer and, moved me at the company. And literally just like my previous predecessor, I literally smiled walking out the door, like, thank you, God. And I don't know, people looking at me like I'm crazy. Like, what? But I literally had a smile on my face and was very happy to leave, even though I did not have a full plan of action, but I made up my mind to get up and be loosed. And when that happened, then came okay, well, what's the next step? And the next step. See, we're not meant to look at the mountain. And if we're at the valley base level, look at the mountain and say, I want to get to the mountaintop, and just think by snapping your fingers, you're going to be at the mountaintop. No, it's a plan of action. Yes, you made up your mind that you want to climb to the top of the mountain, but then comes the process of, how do I climb that mountain? How do I put it together? You come up with a plan of action. You research the tools you need, just like I did. Even before my last day at that job, I researched what I would need to give me the confident boost to write. Because though God has given me that talent of writing and storytelling since I was a little girl, I had never written a book before. I wrote poems and short stories, but nothing like a full-fledged book. So I was like, okay, God, I don't really know how to do this. So I went and took some courses. I signed up. I took the resources I had, found some online courses that I could take that were in my budget, and I signed up for those courses. And I took those courses, and that helped boost my confidence level of the direction that I was going. And so that's a step for you. Like, whatever you need right now, whatever you are just down and out with right now, put together, first of all, make up your mind, number one. And number two, put together a plan of action. Research what you need to get out of it. Some of you, it may be that you're going through something that's a mental blockage, like a mental emotional blockage, and you're wondering like why you keep finding yourself in the same situation, or why you keep finding your heart broken from relationship to relationship, or why you just are dealing with depression or depressing feelings, or anxiety or stress or worry or fear. Even you may need to get into counseling, and that may be your plan of action of, okay, I know I need to get into counseling, so now let me research the type of counselor I need and the type of facilities I need to go to. If you have health insurance, part of that is going to be the research of contacting your health insurance to find out what counselors you can go to. I know when I had to go into counseling, I did the same thing. I called my health insurance and they gave me a list of counselors and therapists that were in the area. And then I went on a process, even after I got that list, of elimination to see where I really wanted to go, who was going to best suit me. I always talk about, especially when it comes to counseling, but really anything in life, you need to go at it as a job interview. Now, though we cannot interview our parents because they were here before us, which is why they birthed us, but anything going forward, you can interview. Interview, is this the right business partner for you? And I mean, as an adult, interview, is this the right business partner for you? Interview, is this the right job for you? Like, yes, you may feel like you need the money, but are you suitable for this company? Are the temperaments going to mesh well with yours? Are they going to help you grow, even if there is a bad temperament, but there's something there that's going to push you forward to help you develop? Like, interview to see if these are the right people you should be around. Interview your friendships to make sure that they have the right qualifications to meet the need of your friendship, because everybody's not meant to be the same type of friend. Hear ye, hear me. There are some people in your life that's for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. And there are some people in your life that's going to be an inner circle, outer circle of holy. And I taught on that before. I want to get into that right now. But you need to understand, like, what type of friend you actually have. What type of person is coming into your life to be what in your life. Because there are some people that are only meant to just be kind. They're there for a reason, and that's it. But they're not meant to be there for a season. They're not meant to be your friend. It could be that maybe there's something that they have that you need to help you grow and develop, or vice versa. There's something that you have that they need to help them grow and develop. And so you got to have that wisdom to interview candidates that's coming into your life to make sure you have the right team around you. That's why I've been teaching in this whole entire vision series, is that you need to have the right team and know how to operate in your vision. What is blinding your vision right now in your life? It's time to get up and be loosed. There is something that is blocking you from progressing, from moving forward. And for those of you that have been dealing with the same issue year after year after year, then you have to look at, okay, is this a environment issue? Is this, meaning, what I mean by environment is this an issue of the people that are around you, the community you live in, the city, the state, the government body that you're under? So is this something that you can control? Or is this something that you can not control, but you can still control you? Because even when it comes to the government, we maybe can't control how things are run in the government per se. I know they try to make us think we can with voting, but not really. But that's neither here nor there. You need to look at what you can control. So you may not can control the rules and the laws that are governing your land or your region or where you at, but you can control how you adapt, how you flow in the changes in your world and in your environment. Maybe you are in an environment where maybe you're in an abusive marriage, or you're in an unhealthy place in your marriage. Maybe it's a good marriage, but right now it's been rocky ground. And so you haven't been seeing eye to eye. But you can't focus on trying to change them. What you can do to get up and be loose from that situation is not divorce. It's focus on changing you. Because what I have seen in my life and studies have shown that when we focus on changing us and bettering us, ultimately that spills out a lot of times onto other people. Now, there are some people that will reject that because they don't want to change. And then they will gradually move away from you, and let them go, baby. Let them fly. Be free, fly, baby, fly. Okay, don't hold on to them. Let them go. Let them get up and be loose on their own, but you keep doing you. But there will be people, especially loved ones, that will see your change, see your improvement, see you growing, see you healing, see you develop in you, and it will then inspire them to do it. I give you a perfect example. When I first started working out, it was just me. And at that time, I even asked my mother to join me in the workout. because I know that she liked fitness. But at that time, she just really wasn't into working out. But she joined me the times I asked her to go with me. She did join me. She didn't say no. And we would work out. But she didn't stay consistent as I did. I've been working out every day. She hasn't. But she sees me. And what she has done, even though she hasn't been consistent in it, is she went and joined a gym that she, thought she'd be able to still go to daily, though she hasn't yet. And she says that every day she sees me, I need to be consistent. I know I'm working on it. Now, I haven't said nothing to you. Like, she just will see me in my workout clothes, or she'll just see me, period, and then be like, oh, yeah, I need to get into the gym myself. I need to work out. I didn't say nothing to her, but because of what I'm doing and working on in me, loose something in her to say, girl, get up. Do what you got to do for yourself. I've been around other people who, again, they for somehow or what may see my gear or something and know I work out, and it'll cause them to say, I need to go to the gym myself. Now, I ain't saying nothing to you because I'm not going to, because that's your journey. That's your body. I'm working on my temple. I can't tell you how to work on your temple. You may not want to work out, and that's perfectly fine. That is you. But again, because of what I'm doing and how I chose to get up and be loose, it's helping other people. My family, I have seen many members in my family. For those out there that are praying for their family to be changed, I have seen members in my family start to take mental health serious and start to get into counseling, start to get right with their spiritual side because of what God has done in my life and the work that I've started in me. So you never know the ripple effect that's going to happen by your yes to get up and be loose for yourself. Because you got to do it for yourself first. You can't focus on doing it for somebody else. Do it for yourself first. And then as you go and progress, then maybe part of your deeper why will then tie into wanting it to be for other people. But if you focus so much on doing it for other people, and you stop focusing on why you're doing it for yourself, then you kind of do a disservice to yourself, because then you become stressed out, overwhelmed even, sometimes just stopping and feel like you can't do it anymore because you were doing it for somebody else. So it has to be personal for you. What is your why? Why do you want to be free? Why do you want to get up? Why do you want to stay stuck in the position you've been in? Because there are some people that feel like, I've told you guys before, I was mentoring somebody in one of our counseling sessions. They said to me, Andrea, everything you say to me is perfectly true. It is sensible. I know it's right, but I just don't want to do it. It's too hard. I'm too afraid to even try. And I thought that was so sad. So what are you afraid of that is causing you to not want to change? And do you think you will actually have an overall quality of life, a good quality of life, if you stay the same? How much more abundant could every dead person in the graveyard had seen their life be if they chose to reach their full optimal potential? Because the most richest, wealthiest place is a graveyard. Because so many people died leaving their potential stuck inside of them because they were too afraid to try, too afraid to change, too afraid. They get stuck out of their own ways. They get stuck out of old mindsets that were no longer working anymore. They were afraid to shift into a new perspective, to figure out, to learn how to do it a better way. They were too afraid. I'm reading this book right now, and I won't tell you the name of the book out of just respect for that person, though they shared it also just legally speaking. I'm not going to tell you the name, but I'm reading this book, and this particular author talked about their father and how their father never reached the potential of his little small business growing and being super successful because his father could never shift from being the employee. What do I mean by that? So those that are not entrepreneurs, one thing that every entrepreneur knows is that when we first start the business, we are everything in the business, okay? We are the employee, we are the boss, we are the cleaning crew, we are the secretary, we are the call center, we are shipping and purchasing. I mean, we do it all. We have to wear every single hat because it's just us. We don't have a team yet. But then as more people come along and the team grows and develops, and a successful business owner, entrepreneur has to shift from the mindset of being the employee doing everything, wearing every hat, to being the overseer, being able to delegate what needs to be done and trusting the team to do it instead of them trying to do it themselves. And so the particular author was saying how their father never did that. And so the father died young because of stress, but also died young because they never shifted from one position to the next. And so where in your life are you not shifting? What are you fighting the tide of change for? There's something in your life. Hear ye, hear me. There's somebody out there that you are fighting the tide of change. You don't like it. It's uncomfortable. It's challenging you to develop. It's challenging you to learn something new, and you don't like it. But baby, I'm here to tell you that life will continue to change. And all you're doing is not affording yourself the luxuries of growing. Stop it. Get up and be loosed. Understand that there is a better day ahead of you. There is a better you that you can be, but you got to stop stifling your growth. Get out of your own way. Stop being your worst enemy. Stop playing devil's advocate. Trust me, the devil has enough minions. He don't need you to advocate for him. Instead, become God's advocate for your life and choose his path for your life. Choose hope. Choose to have faith to believe that there is better up ahead. You may not see it right now. No, I didn't see better days up ahead. I didn't see even this podcast. I mean, come on. You guys would not be here had I stayed stuck in that mindset of looking at what seemed like it was dying around me. What seemed like it was closed doors around me. I chose to tap into that inner girl inside of me, that inner child that's in us all, and use my imagination. I chose to sit and think about, what am I good at? What do I do that just comes naturally to me? What's my spiritual gift that comes naturally to me? What is my talent? What am I good at? And I chose to then pray about how to combine those two things, or few things rather, and bring them together to create a business for myself that would then be able to bless and help others and not just myself. For me, since I was a little girl, I've always been a caregiver. I've always been little Miss Helper in the family. If you need help in any capacity, cooking, cleaning, taking care of the elderly, whatever, you name it, I'm there. Even at the church, I was, I guess you would say junior deaconess, because I would go out with the deacon and deaconesses, which were my godparents, and we would serve Holy Communion to the sick and shut in and the hospitalized. And so that was me there. As I grew up, I got a CNA license when I was in high school, and so I was a caregiver at nursing homes in that capacity as a nursing assistant. And then I went into college and got my degree in psychology and utilized that degree in various aspects of caregiving and, emotionally and mentally, and then tied into spiritually with my faith. So I've always been doing it. It comes so naturally to me that I don't even think about it, honestly. I can be up, which many times I have, in the late midnight hour mentoring and ministering to somebody and don't think anything of it. I'm not tired. I'm not irritable. I'm not weary. I'm not frustrated because of the timing. Nothing. Because it comes naturally to me. It's something that was a spiritual gift placed inside me before I was born. And so I've been doing this since I was a little girl. Then there's a talent of storytelling. There's a talent of words and writing that I developed when I was a little girl. That also just came naturally to me to learn and understand and study words. Now, part of it was also my parenting. My mother made me read the dictionary and study the dictionary when I was a little kid. Now, back in the day, I thought that was torture because what kid 5, 6 years old want to be studying the darn dictionary? 9, 10 years old want to be reading thesauruses and almanacs. I didn't want to be reading that stuff. But I do believe that my mother is not that, spiritual. I believe that there was something in her that said, keep this girl in words. Help develop her vocabulary. Help developing her spelling so that she can use the words and storytell. Ever since I was a little girl and learned how to write, people have always been giving me as gifts books to write in, empty composition books. And then, nowadays you don't really see composition books no more. You see like decorative books, but they would buy me empty books and just say, fill them up. Here, write something in it. So I've always been writing in some capacity, storytelling in some capacity. I am not the girl. I tell people all the time, as you probably can tell from the podcast, I'm not the girl that if you need directions, don't ask me, because I'm not going to just give you step by step in terms of turn right, turn left, turn da-da-da-da, and in a certain amount of miles, you'll be here. No, I'm going to give you a story, okay, of how I learned that particular route I'm about to take you on. And then even when I'm telling you the story, it's not going to be in terms of, I will say some street signs and things like that because I do pay attention. But again, it's going to probably also be in the form of a story. That's just who I am. And from that and from my prayer, which God was already speaking to me anyway, as I said before at the job, of write the story. Write the story. And so what is God speaking to you today that you need to do in your life to help you get up and be loosed? There is something that is blocking your tongue, blocking your body from moving forward, blocking your tongue from sharing your story, blocking your tongue from freeing yourself from the bondage of the pain of your past. Let that go, baby. Forgive, heal, do the work. It doesn't matter of who you are afraid of and that, or, because part of it is fear. It could be fear of what somebody's going to say about you if they know the truth. Baby, let them talk. Because let me tell you something. If you pretend, they're going to have something to say. If you be authentically you, they're going to have something to say. If you sick, they're going to have something to say. If you healed, they're going to have something to say. If you up, they're going to have something to say. If you down, they're going to have something to say. Baby, if you broke, busted, and disgusted, they're going to have something to say. And if you rich off and well off, they're going to have something to say. Basically, baby, they're going to always have something to say. Let them talk. Free yourself from people. Hear ye, hear me. Free yourself from people. Let them talk. You get up and get loosed. Or be loosed. Get yourself free. And get them something to talk about in the process of you being free. Because they're going to judge you based on the fact that they couldn't free themselves. Let them talk. And hopefully in them talking will then turn to inspiration to get themselves up and be loosed. Because they saw how you got up and was loosed. You got to do the work. You never know how what you're working on other people are looking at. There's always somebody looking at you. So you get up and be loosed. And let them be them. And let God be God. He's going to help you in the process if you ask for help. He'll give you that wisdom. He'll give you that strategy. He'll give you the steps you have to take in order to grow and develop and learn and mature and heal. So that you can get to that whole and complete place needing absolutely nothing. But you got to make a decision today to get up and be loosed. All right, guys, we're out of time. So may the Lord bless you and keep you. Cause his face to shine upon you. May the Lord God be gracious to you. Show you his favor and give you shalom. Give you his peace. Take care. Love you guys. Bye now.